I actually played a major role in the strategy of their career. Yeah. And now they're reaping the benefits of that. So it makes me very proud of both.
Y'all, after years of denying and ignoring the situation, Jay-Z has finally been cornered by a paternity test. And now things just got a whole lot messier, because the man calling him out isn't just the alleged son. It's Matthew Knowles, Beyoncé's own father, and he's making it very clear he's done watching Jay-Z drag his daughter's name through scandal after scandal. For over a decade, Ramir Satchel has claimed that Jay-Z is his biological father. But instead of stepping up and taking a simple DNA test, Jay-Z's team kept throwing legal roadblocks in Ramir's way. Courts tossed out his case again and again, all because of technical stuff: wrong state, wrong name spelling, not enough proof that Sean Carter in one document was the Sean Carter. But Ramir didn't stop. He kept pushing, and now the New Jersey Supreme Court finally let the case go through, and Jay-Z was officially ordered to give up his DNA. Sources say the results came back, and guess what? They allegedly confirmed what Ramir's been saying all along. But here's the thing, this drama isn't just between Jay-Z and Ramir anymore. Now it's hit the Carter family in full force. And for someone like Beyoncé, who spent years trying to protect her image, her husband's secret son popping up with a court-ordered DNA test is the last thing she needs. Matthew Knowles knows that, and word is he's not here for the mess. From cheating scandals to this paternity war, Matthew's reportedly fed up with Jay-Z bringing drama that Beyoncé has nothing to do with. So grab your tea and let's rewind real quick to how this mess even started.
I was 7. My mom had to sit down with me. I guess she thought I was old enough to know now, and she been saying, I really want you to know what it is. This person is your father, and I just want you to know. She continued to tell me that over the years and over the years, and I'm just really coming out here for the truth. I don't want no money or anything. I wasn't looking for none of that. I'm not that type of person. I work for everything. I work for everything.
Now let's get into the young man at the center of this entire situation, Ramir Satchel. Ramir is of Philadelphia who's been trying to tell the same story for more than a decade. According to him, Jay-Z is his real biological father, not some wild claim for attention, but something he's believed ever since his mother told him the truth. So here's what we know. Ramir says his mother, Wanda, was just 16 years old when she met Jay-Z, who was 22 at the time. They had a relationship, and soon after, she became pregnant. But by the time Ramir was born in 1993, Jay-Z and his mother were no longer in contact. She had gone back with her high school sweetheart, Robert Graves, and at the time she made a difficult decision to list Robert as the father on Ramir's birth certificate, even though she later admitted he wasn't the biological father. Years later, as Ramir got older, his mom told him the truth. She said that Jay-Z was the man she believed to be his real father. To clear any doubts, Ramir took a DNA test with Robert Graves, the man on his birth certificate, and the results showed Robert was not his dad. That test was what really pushed Ramir to try and contact Jay-Z and seek answers, but instead of getting clarity, he ran into a wall of silence and lawyers. And here's the key part that makes Ramir's story so hard to ignore: he never asked for money. He's said multiple times that he's not chasing a check or trying to humiliate anyone. What he wants is simple: a DNA test and the truth. He's even said he's prepared for the answer to be no, but he just wants to stop living in the dark about who his father is. Okay, but here's where things get suspicious, because Jay-Z's reaction? Let's just say he's been running from cotton swabs like it's the plague.
People don't know the process. Your record label can only appoint one person in a category. So that means her record label, I'm gonna call you out, Columbia Records. Her record label has never really put her in that category.
That's the problem, Matthew, is that people feel like they nominate her for Album of the Year, but then they give it to someone who, in the eyes of a lot of fans, had an inferior album. And that's the question, is like, why are they singling her out in that category?
Well, again, when you have, going back to Adele and Beyoncé on the same record label, the record label can only support one of those artists.
Why do you think that the label, which has made a fortune off Beyoncé, Why would they choose Adele over your daughter?
Well, there's a lot of reasons. I mean, there's a financial reason. Maybe Adele sold more records worldwide. I don't know these answers, but these are some of the thought processes that they go through. Maybe you say, Beyonce has her success. Here's an opportunity to push Adele, so let's push her.
So this isn't so much the Grammys as it is the label, according to you.
It's a combination of all, but it starts with the label.
You'd think if you weren't someone's father, you'd take the test and move on, right? But Jay-Z? He's been doing the complete opposite. Since 2010, Ramir has filed multiple legal motions trying to get Jay-Z to take a DNA test. And every single time, Jay-Z's legal team found a way to get the case dismissed. At first, they argued that since the case started in Pennsylvania and Jay-Z had no personal or business ties to that state, it wasn't the right jurisdiction, so the court tossed it. Ramir didn't stop there. He moved the case to New Jersey, hoping for a better shot, and this time he came with documents. Tax records linked to a Sean Carter that showed business activity in New Jersey. But Jay-Z's lawyers doubled down and argued that there was no proof that the Sean Carter listed in those tax records was actually Jay-Z, and believe it or not, that small detail was enough for the judge to toss the case again. Year after year, Ramir got shut down, but Ramir didn't stop. And this next part, it's what finally forced Jay to face the music. After years of legal back and forth, the case finally made its way to the New Jersey Supreme Court, and this time, the court said enough is enough. They approved Ramir's petition and ordered Jay-Z to submit his DNA for testing. Now, while the full results haven't been officially released to the public, reports say the DNA test came back and confirmed Ramir's claims that Jay-Z is indeed his biological father. People were shocked but not surprised, because for years folks had been wondering why Jay-Z would spend so much time and money avoiding something that could take in 10 minutes to settle. A person commented saying, "Jay's been ducking that swab test like it's the IRS. If you ain't the dad, prove it and move on." Another one added, "It's giving I know I'm guilty energy." You don't spend over a decade dodging a test unless you're hiding something. And just when you thought Jay-Z would step up and take responsibility, guess who steps in instead? Daddy Knowles.
66 and a grown-ass man has accomplished a lot of things. You see anyone succeed in their 60s, you say Mr. or Mrs.
And I do. And I'm from the South, born and raised. However,
my mama would be really disappointed. People that call me Matthew are people that I know, that they're friends of mine, and we're in the same circles, financial circles, and in those type of meetings. But nobody,
I feel you. You in a whole nother tax bracket. You better put a missile on that thing.
Go get your ass on up.
Beyonce's dad, Matthew Knowles, is not staying quiet anymore. According to insiders, Matthew is reportedly furious, not just because of what's being said about Jay-Z, but because of how this whole situation is dragging Beyoncé and their family back into yet another public mess. Think about it. From the elevator scandal with Solange to cheating rumors to now a secret son, these stories always seem to circle back and affect Beyoncé's name. And Matthew? He's had enough. Sources close to the family say Matthew feels like Jay has had more than enough time to handle this quietly, but instead, he kept dodging. And now it's snowballed into a public nightmare. He's reportedly been pressing Jay behind the scenes to clean this up fast, not because of media pressure, but because of morals. Matthew apparently believes that if Ramir is telling the truth, he deserves acknowledgement. And more importantly, Beyoncé deserves peace. She didn't sign up for this drama, but her name keeps getting caught in the headlines. It's not about PR anymore. Matthew has worked hard to build the Knowles name into something powerful and respected, and watching it get dragged through gossip blogs because Jay won't take a simple DNA test? Yeah, he's done being patient. But don't get it twisted. This ain't just about a family feud. There's something much darker in the background. Ramir Satchel didn't just face silence from Jay-Z. He says he faced something much more dangerous. According to documents and interviews, Ramir has claimed multiple times that he's been targeted for speaking out. He says there were moments when people followed him, watched his house, even tried to dig into his personal life. One of the scariest parts, he says a gun was planted in his car, an incident that almost got him arrested. And let's be real, if that's true, that's not just intimidation. That's criminal. Ramir also claims that Jay-Z's legal team tried to bury the whole situation by hitting him with gag orders, legal documents that would shut him up completely. Basically, don't talk about it, don't ask about it, don't even breathe about it. But Ramir didn't back down. In fact, groups like the NAACP and ACLU stepped in at one point to help protect Ramir's rights. Because whether Jay is the father or not, Ramir has the right to ask. He has the right to speak. And no celebrity power should be able to take that away. And yet, through all of this, Ramir kept one thing consistent. I just want the truth. When you actually hear Ramir speak, it is different. He's not coming across as bitter or entitled. He just sounds like someone who's been hurting for a long time. In one interview clip, he says, "I'm not asking for money. I just want to know who my father is. If I'm wrong, I'll apologize, but at least let me know." That right there, that's not the voice of a scammer or a clout chaser. That's someone who's been living with uncertainty for his whole life. Ramir said this battle has taken a toll on his mental health. The stress, the court battles, the public humiliation, it's all added up. And the internet hasn't been kind either. Some people call him a liar, others a fame hunter. But there are supporters too, people who say he's handled this with more grace than most adults would. Despite everything, Ramir says he's still open to peace. He still hopes one day Jay-Z will do the right thing, take the test, and end this chapter once and for all. Now let's be honest, if Jay-Z is so sure he's not the father, why not just take the test 10 years ago?
He said, "This is a victory. The frivolous, fictitious, and appalling allegations have been dismissed." He said, "The trauma that my wife Beyoncé, my children, loved ones, and I have endured can never be dismissed." He said this 1-800 lawyer gets to file a suit hiding behind Joan Jane. They quickly realize that the money grab is going to fail. They get to walk away with no repercussions. The system has failed. Finish it off by saying the court must protect victims, of course, while with the same ethical responsibility, the courts must protect the innocent from being accused with a shred of evidence.
So finally, after years of silence, Jay-Z's team has something to say, as legal reps are now calling this whole thing a harassment campaign. According to them, Ramir's accusations have been tossed out by multiple courts over the years. They argue that the story has no legal standing and claim it's been rehashed just to attract media attention. They're denying everything else too: no intimidation, no gag orders, no threats. Jay's lawyers say they actually tried to reach out to Ramir to resolve the issue, but Ramir's side refused to talk. They're basically painting Ramir as someone clout-chasing a man he's never met, and pretty tone-deaf if you ask the public. But here's the thing Jay doesn't seem to get. This ain't just about legal wins. It's about real lives, real pain, and real accountability. While Jay might think it's case closed legally, the internet clearly doesn't agree. Those side-by-side photos of Ramir and young Jay-Z, they've been making rounds everywhere. Fans are calling him out left and right. And what really shook people? Ramir's original claims include that he was underage when this whole paternity issue started, and that brings a whole different level of scrutiny. And this might be the one scandal Jay-Z can't outrun, even with a billion-dollar empire behind him. So here's the real question. If Jay's really innocent, why keep avoiding the test? And if he's not, then what does that say about the legacy he's worked so hard to build? Drop your thoughts below, like if you're as shocked as we are, and subscribe for the next update, because trust me, this story is far from over.